is Parker, and welcome back to or welcome to my channel if you're new here. On this channel, I read different stories. Today, I will be reading chapters 19 and 20 of Nothing Left to Lose by Shawnee VFX. If you haven't watched any of the previous episodes, I do suggest that you go watch them, as we are pretty far along in the storyline. With that being said, I'm going to apologize in advance if any voices you think are off for this storyline. Specifically Roman's. I can do the others like more gentle, they're more gruff, but I don't know, I can't do Roman's voice, so I'm going to apologize in advance for that. So without further ado, this is Nothing Left to Lose, chapters 19 and 20 by Shawnee VFX. Chapter 19, Virgil's Point of View, Day 13. Virgil, wanna help babysit? I hear Patton yell, or more accurately screech, sounding way too excited. Soon after, he bursts into my room, looking ready to explode from happiness. What am I supposed to say? Yeah, because I want to deal with some random child. Do I have a choice? I say instead. Well, Logan is going out to the bookstore and Roman's at play rehearsal. Plus the kid's coming here, so not really. He replies, sounding way too happy for a person that just doomed me to spend part of my day stuck watching some small stranger. So who is the kid, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how annoying are they? If I'm getting stuck helping out with some random kid, I might as well try to find out if it's safer to stay in my room for the entire day. Well, he lives a couple floors down. He's really sweet, so you don't have to worry, he assures me. His name is Dylan, and I think he's 7. 7-year-olds are pretty independent, but they also ask a lot of questions, and too many questions give me anxiety. Someone knocks on the door before I can decide whether to avoid this kid or not. Patton! A high-pitched voice calls from the other side. Oh, shit. It's already too late for me. Coming! He responds, going over to the door, apparently not noticing my distress. He opens the door, revealing a little kid with a woman that I'm guessing is his mom. Said kid immediately hugs Patton. Thank you so much for watching him on such short notice, Patton. You're a lifesaver, the woman says gratefully. She looks to be in desperately need for a coffee. It's no problem, Donna, Patton assures her, while hugging the kid back, despite the height difference. The woman, Donna, smiles and crouches down to Dylan's height. You're gonna stay here with Patton for a little bit, okay? Dylan nods and she leaves. What you wanna do, little man? Patton asks in a fake serious tone, leaning down to his height. I'm surprised he didn't just call him kiddo. Apparently he only calls his friends and most adults that. I wanna paint, Dylan declares, matching Patton's straight face. Or gay face, I guess. Alright, you sit down at the kitchen table and I'll find you some paint, he replies, going to leave the room. Throughout the conversation, I stand awkwardly by the couch. Who are you? Dylan asks me. I'm one of Patton's friends, I tell him, not knowing what else to say. I've never seen you before, he states bluntly, looking at me with what I can only describe as a suspicious disappointment. Damn. I'm one of his newer friends. I just moved in. I had being way too intimidated by this kid. He stares blankly at me for a second. Okay, he exclaims, brightening again almost instantly. Alright, I found paint. Make sure to have 2 pieces of paper so it doesn't bleed through, Patton reminds him as he walks in. Dylan quickly grabs some blue and yellow paint, taking a messy brush as well. Virgil, you should join us, Patton suggests. So much for hiding in my room for the next 2 hours. Yeah, Dylan agrees excitedly. What a great idea, I say, trying to sound genuinely happy with the suggestion. We paint in almost complete silence for half an hour. When I eventually look up from my basic painting of a beach, I see Dylan making some sort of dragon like creature while Patton is painting a dog, to no one's surprise. Done! Dylan declares proudly, holding up his painting. Patton gives him a knowing smirk. Is that the dreadful dragon witch? He asks, getting a nod from Dylan. I'm sorry, the what? I ask, confused. The dragon witch is a monster Roman told Dylan about, and that, he points to the painting, is what she looks like. Right. Anyway, Dylan decides to play with a Rubik's Cube that I'm pretty sure Patton stole from Logan's room while we take a seat on the couch. After a minute of awkwardly watching him, I decide to go against all my instincts as an introvert and start a conversation. So, you and Logan, huh? This is single-handedly the worst way for me to start it, which is exactly why I never start a conversation. He turns red. What? His voice cracks, making his crush that much more obvious. You clearly have a crush on him, so why not ask him out? Patton has 10 times more confidence than me, so he should have no reason. Especially when Logan feels the same. I have no idea what the fuck that means. Are you kidding? Logan is the smartest and least emotional person I know. Why would he like me back? Patton asks, looking seriously concerned for my mental health. That's amazing. I stare at him, just as confused. He's basically an empath, and yet he can't tell that Logan, at the very least, likes him more than literally every human on Earth. I try to and fail to speak several times, and end up continuing to stare at him. I'm just gonna give you advice. Don't wait on it. You're a great guy, and if Logan doesn't see that, you shouldn't waste all your time just loving him from the sidelines, I tell him. Patton frowns in thought for a second. Thanks, Virgil, he says, smiling slightly. Not the normal, peppy smile, but a more muted, genuine one. I smile back. No problem, Pat. Dylan Shouton suddenly draws our attention to him. He's proudly holding up a finished Rubik's Cube. How did he finish it that fast? Wow, Dylan, you're getting really good at that. Want me to mix it up again? Patton asks him. He nods, passing the cube to him to let Patton re-scramble it for him to solve. After sufficiently scrambling the Rubik's Cube again, he passes it back to Dylan. Like I said, thanks, but I'm not sure I'll be able to tell him. At least, not yet, Patton says honestly, covering up his sad look with embarrassment. I'm sure it'll all work out, I tell him, for once sounding confident. Chapter 20. Roman's point of view. Joy. Day 16. For once, Corey decides to give us all a break during rehearsal since we finally got through one song without messing up horribly. That's about as nice as she gets when it comes to directing, but at least she does a good job. I spend the break talking with Bree and Remy, the latter showing up with coffee for a couple of us, courtesy of his job at Deja Brew. We get back to work 5 minutes later, seeing that's plenty of time for a water break, in Corey's words. We work through several songs in order since the scenes will be easier to learn. By the time we get to Do You Want to Ride, rehearsal is technically over, so Corey isn't allowed to keep us here anymore. Ha! Take that, you tyrant. I grab my bag and see Kyle basically for the first time all day. Hey, Roman, he says, looking a bit nervous. Hey, Kyle, what's up? I replied, taking out my phone before closing my bag again. I was wondering if you wanted to go out for dinner on Saturday? He asks after a minute. Wait, what? As in a date? I ask, just to be sure. It would definitely be easier if it wasn't, but he wouldn't be so nervous if he meant it as friends. Yeah, he clarifies, and for some reason, this request makes me feel wrong. But I can't just reject him. He's my friend. I don't want to lead him on either, but it can't be that bad, right? If the date goes well, then maybe it'll help me get over that butterfly feeling I'm starting to get around Virgil. I can't let myself develop feelings for him, especially if he's straight, but Holy shit, I do hope he's gay. Nope. Don't get your hopes up, Roman. Baby, I'm sorry, baby. No. Anyway, Kyle brightens at my question. Oh, sorry. I sigh internally. Where and what time? I ask him. A small part of me feels bad for agreeing. Like I was trying to cheat my heart into falling for someone else. Someone that I've never had romantic feelings for before in the years that I've known him. And yet, in literal days, I find myself taking a liking to a former villain? Kyle brightens at my question. How about 6 o'clock at Retch's Grill? He suggests, and I nod. And he smiles. See you there? He walks off. I have a bad feeling about this. Sorry, my voice is trying to give out on me. Virgil's point of view. Day 18. Roman was the one staying with me today, and around 5:30 he came out of his room dressed in a different outfit than he was wearing an hour ago. Where are you going? I ask. As far as I know, they're still planned on keeping someone with me at all times. Probably so I couldn't steal anything, or whatever they thought I would do if unsupervised. Don't tell Logan or Patton because I'll never hear the end of it, but I'm going out on a dinner date with someone, he answers, using the hallway mirror to unnecessarily fix his hair. Oh, I say, my mood immediately turning sour for some reason. Don't worry, I won't snitch, I add quickly. If even I don't understand this feeling, then I might as well avoid confusing him too. All I know is that I feel really bad. It's kind of an empty feeling that only seems to get worse as the door closes behind Roman. Limply, I go into my room. Not really processing what I was doing, I grab a pen off the desk and jam it into one of the little blue lights on the handcuff. After wiggling it around for a few seconds, it unlocks. No one else knew, but I had figured out how to open it a while ago. I just didn't want I just didn't want it to go back to the suspicious stares from Logan and Roman, so I kept it on. Chances are Logan wouldn't tell me about the actual key until they trust me, which will be never. I pull on my anti-grav boots, getting ready to leave through the window since people are the worst, and I didn't want to accidentally run into Roman on the way down, or if I decided to run on the rooftops. I walk aimlessly through the city, stopping for a minute on a random roof, admiring the view. Oh god. Once the cityscape becomes too intimidating, I walk down the side of the building to the alley below, figuring that I should probably go home. Thanks! A too loud, too familiar voice calls from the off to the side. Reluctantly, I turn towards it. Duke? Deceit.
Ah, you're really calling us by our villain names. That hurts.
Duke says, dramatically putting a hand to his chest. Not like you guys ever call me by my actual name, I sigh, not wanting to deal with this. What do you want? Well, as much as we totally enjoyed going all the way to Link Point, we aren't mad, Deceit says. That being said, it'd be in your best interest to help us out a little bit. Before I can even ask what the heck he means, he holds up a couple of papers. The blueprints to the congruency plans I created against Princey, Popstar, and Delta. You happen to leave these behind, and normally I'd have no problem building these on my own, but I can't for the life of me read them. Makes sense, seeing as I wrote them in a made-up language that only I know. And you want me to translate them? I reply, already knowing what he was getting at. He raises an eyebrow. You're smarter than you look, he says in a signature praising, but actually condescending tone. He walks up to me, trying and succeeding to look intimidating. I'm not gonna translate it, I tell him, in a moment of bravery, or stupidity, depending on how you look at it. Despite my weird feeling, I'm not gonna go back on to helping these two. I don't think I was clear before. You're going to translate these plans, he says forcefully, his eyes glowing yellow. Alright, he's a mind controller. Look away, but actually don't. I can use that as a distraction since he doesn't notice me grab onto the papers with the congruency plan. I tear my hand away from him, ripping the plans in half and looking away before knocking them both off their feet with a small earthquake. I run out into the street, hoping they would be smart enough to avoid causing a scene. Hanks! One or maybe both of them yell after me. Sorry. After running around the city to a paranoid extent, I figured that I had lost them. Duke was never one for subtlety, so was probably right. I finally climbed back through the window of my room. I put the cuff back on just to be safe and leave the blueprints on my desk. I flopped down on the bed, not even bothering to take my boots off, and end up laying face down, feeling like an actual potato. I'm back! A flamboyant voice calls. At some point, I had rolled over onto my side, facing the wall, and I couldn't find the motivation to answer him. Vert? I heard him knock on the door to my room, but my voice was still nowhere to be found. After a few seconds of not receiving an answer, he slowly opens the door. I still don't respond, just waiting for him to leave. Considering the fact that I'm laying in bed in a completely dark room, not moving, I think he assumes I'm asleep, and he softly shuts the door. I swear I hear him whisper, "Good night," before he leaves. I feel my face heat up at this, and I realize, fuck, I've got a crush. Oh, poor baby Virgil. We all love Virgil. So I am recording this a week early, so I don't know how everything's going so far with the channel. I am recording this on Monday, the day before I post this week's episode, so I do plan to record one more because I'm not sure with school starting back up after this week is over, I will be able to record for a while because I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. I am in all above my grade level of core classes. I do band, I do a lot of different things, and I just need a while to adjust, so I need to pre-record for you so that you guys will have the episodes and whatnot that I've promised you and that you guys deserve. So I will be attempting to read you guys chapters 21 and 22 by the time that I get tomorrow posted. There are 38 chapters to this story, so we are getting to a very sad close to the ending. However, I will be looking for more stories that I can read you. I'm actually going to attempt to get permission for a story that I fell in love with, and I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy just as much as I do. It's called Blood Bond. It is another Pinxiety story, which I know you guys are gonna hate me, but I fucking love Pinxiety. I also am planning for the video directly after I get the 38th chapter out to be a compilation of all of the past videos of it. So it's like one mega video, but it's going to be really long, and I'm going to cut out my intro and outro for all of them, except for I'm going to make a specific outro and intro for it, so it will sound choppy. I do feel bad for that. However, I'm not going to re-record it all because that would take me literal hours, and I tried to do everything in one recording to make that easier. I will be attempting to ask if I can do Blood Bond, as this is one of my favorite stories, although it is very long. It's it's 97 long. So it's very long, but I'm going to ask for permission and I'm going to hope that I get permission. But sorry. Um I'm going to attempt to keep things normal, try to, upload on time and whatever. I'm just so busy lately and whatnot, and I'm so thankful that you guys are so polite about it. Thank you guys so much for that. I really could not be here without you. So, I really am thankful to you. Uh, so I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Goodbye.